and Educational Leadership from California State University, Fresno. Pha is currently Dean of ITT Tech and is now a respected member of the Fresno community. He does significant outreach for the Hmong community and serves as a board member for Fresno County Human Resources Advisory Committee and is an active member of the Adult Education Task Force in Fresno. And we're excited that he's able to join us this morning.
Nữ do ý từ tu cần đó chỉ mong sẽ cần đó gian thâu lọt chỉ ta lên đó nữ do ý từ chỉ chế nữ chỉ mong quan điểm nữ do quan điểm của chỉ thì gì cho nên là lúc nên giỏi nhẹ chỉ dùng gì đâu nữ cho nên mong sẽ cần đó hen thầu nữ mà nên có pro song nữ tu mà cần tao nữ đại A degree nữ đại bachelor degree lúc sau ta sẽ nói nữ chỉ cần nữ đại doctor degree nhất là về CIU Fresno nhất là educational leadership. Tại sao nó nên là cả share cho họ lưu ITT ở đây là institute rồi giờ tu đi là giờ tu sai sửa cho cái sinh viên khen đó cái đó là giờ tuân sai cái đó giờ đâu tao ITT cho nên là nếu cứ họ luyện nên là ba cái chủ sẽ đào tao giờ tao trả chỉ ta lên đó nếu mà lưu chỉ gì rồi bây giờ tao khen được bé thì giờ nó bé câu chuyện tao tên là bé dùng để trả tao nói chuyện nó có thể nó đó chạy to Pha Mouavangsou.
Good morning. Well, unfortunately, I didn't have the power like Blong Hyung, so I have to go after Larry Powell, and he was very inspirational. So I'm nervous now. And I'm not a stadium podium type of guy, so I'm going to step down here a little bit because I like to engage my audience rather than being up there. When they told me they wanted me to speak today, and the message is the journey forward. When you think about the journey forward, there's a lot of things that come to mind, like Bao said. Everybody has their own perception. But all of us has seen those pictures of our parents or the Hmong people that are still in Laos. They wear the sandals, they walk around in the dirt floors. Our parents came here many years ago, and when they came here, they didn't know what America was like or expected from us. And so my parents, they lived in Laos in their hut homes that they built. They had no indoor plumbing, no electricity, not like here in the United States. They walked around everywhere they went, and we all came here because of the Vietnam War. So when we came to the United States, my parents, unfortunately, they were relocated to New York City. Of all the places in the world, so you got these Hmong people who does not know anything about America. And they land here, they land from the jungle to the concrete jungle, right? New York City, of all the places in the world. So when we got there, my parents, they lived on this apartment complex. I don't remember how many flights it was up, but they told me they never used the elevator. They use the stairs every single day. Somebody tell me why. Anybody? Scared? Didn't know how to use it. Didn't know how to use it? Well, think about this, right? These Hmong people, they come here, not much technology. They go to this big machine, right? They walk up, they watch people walk up, the mouth opens, people walk in, the mouth closed. When the mouth opens, where's the people? Where do they go? They just got eaten alive by this machine. We just escaped the Vietnam War. Why am I going to push my children in here? And so also they put us in New York City, and in New York City, there's snow. We came from the tropics. My parents hated the snow. So one day we decided to come to sunny California, and we came to sunny California because we followed General Vang Pao down there. And living down there, as many of your parents probably remember, we lived down there, and when we got here, the government slapped us with welfare and told us to survive in America. We lived off of goodwill, like maybe many of your parents, because our parents could not speak English. They had no skill, no trade. All they knew how to do was farm and be a soldier. That was it. So we lived off of welfare. And obviously, I don't know if you guys remember, there might be a few of you in here, but I recall the story my mom used to tell me, and she laughed about it because my brother, when he was a teenager, him and his friends would come to my mom and ask for food stamp so they can go with their girlfriend on a date. How many of you today at that age will want a food stamp and be proud of using it with your girlfriend? I doubt it, right? So our Hmong people worked very hard to come out of that environment. So our journey, first chapter, was coming from Laos to America. And in the 80s, was surviving here in America. When it got to the 90s, my parents decided to move here to sunny California, but we couldn't find a job. So they followed a lot of our relatives here to the Central Valley. Like maybe a lot of your family came here or ended up where you're at because of family. And we came here because there was the agriculture. My family knew how to farm. So we started farming. And to this day, I still hate tomatoes. Because I farmed tomatoes for 20 years of my life, every single summer. I miss those days in Southern California when we went to the beach, we went fishing. We didn't do anything in the summertime. Here, summer meant more work. I'd rather go to school. And so we ended up here in when I was a junior, and not junior, but I was in junior high. And so my family, there's 9 of us. So how many middle child do I see around here? Middle child? Good, there's a few of you that feel my pain. So I was middle child of 9 of us. So imagine being in the middle, sometimes they forget about you a little bit. And so I went to junior high, my older brothers and sisters went to high school. My younger brothers and sisters went to elementary school. They picked up my older brother and sister, picked up my younger brother and sister, and guess what? I walked home, because we all got out at the same time. But I was the minority group, that's the majority group. So I walked home in my junior high school all the way through my senior years, and then my sister and them graduated, they went to college, and so I still walked home. And because I walked home every day, and being a middle child, we test the water all the time. Trust me, my mom grew many white hair because of me. And so you said, you walk home with other people and say, let me see if my mom would recognize if I came home or not. So you came a little late, right? Oh, they didn't recognize that. So next time you came home a little bit later, you come a little later, you don't come home. Yeah, they remember that, when you're not home. But, so when I was a teenager, I got involved in gangs because I kind of felt that I needed a place to be. So I was with these people every single day. So obviously we hang out every single day. So I got involved in gangs when I was in my teen years, and till the end of my junior year, I got my girlfriend pregnant at the time. And in the Hmong culture, when you get them pregnant, you gotta marry them, right? Nowadays, not so much, but back in the days, there was no doubt about it. So I got married, had my kid in my senior year, had a lot of issues, bumped heads with a lot of different people, got my car shot up, and my parents was very angry at me. My dad was very disappointed in me. So my dad told me I have to deal with this because I created this problem. So at that time, I dropped out of high school, picked up my little family, and I moved all the way to Dallas, Texas. Don't tell me why, I just picked a spot and went. And there wasn't a lot of Hmong people over there, by the way. We barely had enough people to play a basketball game, so it was very lonely out there. I lived there for a few years, and then my ex-wife, noticed the term, right? She decided that she didn't want to be married anymore because she wanted to be single. We got married too young. So she upped and left, and at that time I became a single father. And that was before 21, so I was divorced. I was married, the first in my clan, by the way, to do all these wonderful things. So they really appreciated me tremendously. So my mom called me, and moms always have that soft spot for you no matter how bad you are. So she called me, she said, come home, son, because there's nobody out there to support you. So I did. I came home, and when I got home, unfortunately, my homies found out I came back. So I had nothing to do, couldn't find a job, so they called me. So you go hang out with them 1 day, 2 days, oh, you're back in the same rut again. Right, Stan? I don't know if you have done this before, but we stood on the corner drinking a 40. I don't know, it's like the movies, we did that. For a while there, and then one day my kid went to school, and my son finally went to school. My son did this little exercise called, Who is Your Hero? And he said, I was his hero. And I thought to myself, at that point in time, and I said, how could I be your hero? I could not find a job. Nobody respects me. I can't support us. So I thought to myself, if I'm going to tell my son to be better than me, I have to start with me. So at that time, that's why I went back to Fresno Adult School, and the principal there is very proud of me now. But I went back to the adult school, got my GED, because I figured if I'm going to tell my son to finish high school, I better do something in order for me to tell him. Do as I say, not as I do, that doesn't work, right? And so I went back, and then later on I decided to try this college thing out, this overhyped up college thing that you guys always talk about. So I decided to go there. And surprisingly, I was successful. So I went on and I got the degrees that I got. And the one thing that I learned about it is that nobody can define who you are. Only you could. And trust me, people's going to tell you that you are not gonna make it. People told me when I went to school, they said, you're too old, you're too dumb, you're too this, you're too that, because your past is gonna haunt you. That's what they told me. Nobody ever imagined 10 years ago when I decided that I wanted to go to school, that today I would stand to do what I do today. But I never let anybody tell me that I was too dumb, or I was too this and that. Because I truly believe only you put the boundaries around your own potential. Only you determine your own fate. Nobody determines that. They will try their best to make you and break you, because sometimes they're jealous. Sometimes they don't want to see you succeed because their own fears. So just remember with that. Remember that you put the boundaries around your own potential. Dare to dream and be as big as and be the best that you can be. All of you here are so young. You're the future of our community. You are the ones who's going to dictate what we do in this next chapter. The journey forward is here now. The chapter starts with you guys. The first chapter was our parents that brought us here. They brought us here with nothing but dreams. They dreamed of us being better, but they didn't know what was here in America. They just heard it was great. They heard education was free. We had to pay for it in Laos, but we came here, so all of you are here today. And probably many of you know people like me in the past who are probably lost like I was. All of you are here because you want to be better. But as community leaders and future leaders of our community, reach out to these people. Support them. Maybe your voice is the voice that would change that person's life forever. Okay? So, they're telling me to wrap it up, so I gotta hurry up. So, I'm gonna leave you with one last part. I heard a quote once, and I'd never forget it. And the quote states that when you were born into this world, you cried and the whole world rejoiced. So now, live your life in a way that when you die, that the whole world cry and you rejoice. So there's a book called The 7 Habits. Anybody read that? Good. So the end in mind is the section that I never forget. He talks about, imagine a funeral, and you're at the funeral, and you go up to the funeral, and it's you who's in the casket. You have 3 people who's gonna say something about you. A friend, a colleague, a family member. What would they say about you? If you want them to say you were a good brother, live like a good brother. If you want them to say you were a good mother or father, live like a good mother or father. If they told you that you were successful, if they said all this stuff about you, think about that in the end. And imagine yourself and live your life every single day so people will remember you in that way. Okay? So I thank all of you. All of you traveled so far away, and looking forward to meeting everybody. And I'll be here for a little bit, and I got to go back to work. They limit us. But thank you so much, okay?